The Academy's combat assessment hall buzzed with the usual pre-exam chatter. Instructor Vexlar, a 7-foot Kralix warrior with scales that gleamed like polished obsidian, tapped his clawed finger against the holographic roster. His species had conquered 42 systems. They knew strength when they saw it, and right now, he saw weakness. All right, cadets. His voice boomed across the training floor. Today's evaluation will determine your combat rankings for the semester. Give me your best, or get off my station. 23 species represented. 23 different ways to fight, intimidate, and survive. The Gorvith twins cracked their knuckles, each hand the size of a human torso. Mraka from Theta Prime stretched her 4 arms, poison glands already secreting that telltale green shimmer. Even young Kelnus, barely past his molting phase, looked ready to tear through steel plating. Then there was her. Mira Kowalski sat in the back row, human, 5th-year student, consistently ranked dead last in every physical assessment since she'd arrived. She wore the standard-issue gray jumpsuit that hung loose on her small frame. Her brown hair was pulled into a messy ponytail. She was reading, actually reading a datapad while everyone else prepared for combat trials. Kowalski. Vexlar's voice cracked like a whip. So kind of you to join us mentally. Do you plan to fight today, or should I mark you as absent? She looked up, smiled that infuriatingly calm smile. I'm ready, instructor. Ready. Right. Vexlar had seen her previous attempts. The human moved like she was underwater, every punch telegraphed, every kick lacking power. Humans were already considered the weakest species in the Galactic Coalition, their homeworld barely making the cut for membership. And Mira? She made other humans look like warriors. The first matches went as expected. Brutal. Efficient. The Gorvith twins demolished their opponents in under 30 seconds. Mraka's venom left her challenger unconscious before he could land a hit. Standard stuff. Kowalski versus Dreknor. Center platform. Now. Oh, this would be entertaining. Dreknor was a Thulian, 8 feet of muscle and rage, with a reputation for sending opponents to the medical bay. He grinned, showing 3 rows of serrated teeth. Across from him, Mira stood barely 5.5 feet tall, looking like a stiff breeze might knock her over. The betting pools lit up instantly. How long would she last? 10 seconds? 5. Begin. Dreknor charged. Predictable. Effective. His massive fist swung toward Mira's head with enough force to shatter concrete. She moved, but not like before. Not slow, not clumsy. She slipped under his guard like water, her body suddenly fluid, precise. Her palm struck his elbow joint, a specific point. Dreknor's arm went limp. Wait. What? The Thulian roared, swinging with his other arm. Mira was already gone, repositioning behind him. Another strike, this time to his knee. The giant stumbled. She swept his legs. All 8 feet of Thulian warrior crashed to the mat like a felled tree. Silence. Absolute silence. Dreknor tried to rise. Couldn't. His limbs wouldn't respond. He looked confused, then terrified. Pressure points, Mira said quietly, helping him sit up. You'll be fine in about 10 minutes. Sorry about that. Sorry. Sorry. Vexlar's jaw hung open. Around the hall, cadets stared. This was impossible. Humans didn't fight like that. Mira didn't fight like that. Next match, she said, returning to her starting position. Still calm. Still smiling. The next opponent was more cautious. Didn't matter. Mira dismantled him in 45 seconds. The one after that lasted 30. By the 5th match, no one wanted to volunteer. Someone explain this, Vexlar demanded. Now, a junior instructor, Plixen, tentatively raised a manipulator appendage. Sir, I think you should see this. He projected a file onto the main screen. Military-grade encryption. Declassified just this morning. The header read, Terra Defense Force, War Records, classified. Everyone gathered around. The footage began playing. A battlefield. Not a training simulation. Real combat. Smoke, explosions, the screech of plasma fire. And there, moving through enemy lines like death itself, was Mira Kowalski. But this wasn't the Academy Mira. This was Lieutenant Mira Kowalski, Terra Special Forces, solo operative, callsign Whisper. The recording showed her taking down 12 armed Zephyrite soldiers. None of them even saw her coming. She moved between them like a ghost, every strike lethal, efficient, and absolutely terrifying. The timestamp showed this was from the Fringe War. 3 years ago, before she'd enrolled at the academy. Vexlar struggled to form words. She's been pretending? On screen, Mira stood among the fallen enemies, breathing steady, not even-winded. She reported coordinates to command, her voice professional and cold. Nothing like the quiet, unassuming student they knew. Back in the present, Academy, Mira noticed everyone watching the recording. She sighed, rubbed her temples. Well, she muttered. That's inconvenient. The silence stretched, so long it became uncomfortable. Then someone laughed. Nervous, disbelieving. Mira's voice cut through the tension like a blade. You've been sandbagging for 3 years. Her forearms crossed simultaneously. Why? Mira shrugged, genuinely looking tired now. I came here to learn diplomacy, not to fight. Had enough of that during the war. Figured keeping a low profile would let me focus on actual studies instead of becoming everyone's sparring challenge. Vexlar felt something crack in his understanding of reality. Low profile. This human had systematically failed every combat test, endured mockery from half the student body, and maintained bottom rankings across 5 semesters. All deliberately. You made me look like an idiot, Dreknor growled from the floor, feeling returning to his limbs. Every instructor here thinks humans are weak because of you. Because of me? Mira's eyebrow arched. Buddy, humans were considered weak long before I showed up. That's kind of the whole point. Nobody expects much, so nobody bothers us. It's peaceful. Peaceful. Vexlar finally found his voice. It came out strangled. You're telling me Earth's strategy is pretending to be harmless? Not pretending. Mira walked over to retrieve her datapad. We are harmless, mostly. 99% of humans just want to live quiet lives, raise families, maybe explore a bit. But that 1%. She gestured at the screen, where her recorded self was efficiently neutralizing hostiles. We're really good at making problems disappear when necessary. The recording continued playing. Another scene now. Mira coordinating with a full strike team. The mission objective appeared. Extract hostages from a Krynax fortress, previously considered impenetrable. The video showed the team's approach, but Mira went in alone first. She disabled the external defenses, neutralized the guard rotations, and created an entry point. All within 18 minutes. How many operations? Plixen asked quietly. Classified. Mira sat back down, opening her datapad again. But enough. More than enough. The Gorvith twins exchanged glances. They'd spent months mocking the weak human, even tripped her once in the cafeteria. She'd apologized to them for being in their way. So what now? One of them asked. You going back to the military? Nope. Mira didn't look up from her reading. I'm finishing my degree in interspecies relations. Got 2 semesters left. Then I'm hoping for a position in the diplomatic corps. Preferably somewhere boring where nothing ever happens. Vexlar stared at her. This entire situation was insane. And you think anyone will believe you're harmless now? After this. Instructor, with respect, this recording shows one human operative from 3 years ago. I'm a student now. Different context, different role. She finally met his eyes. Besides, the best diplomats are the ones nobody fears. The moment people think you're dangerous, every negotiation becomes about threat assessment instead of mutual benefit. I'd rather be underestimated. Smart. Disturbingly smart. Another cadet, Fel 9, stepped forward. Small species, diplomatic track like Mira. But doesn't it bother you? Being seen as weak. Why would it? Mira's expression showed genuine confusion. Strength isn't about how hard you can hit. It's about knowing when hitting is necessary and when it isn't. I hit things for 6 years during the war. Got pretty good at it. Now I want to learn how to stop fights before they start. That's harder, honestly. The recording reached its conclusion. Mission success. All hostages recovered. 0 casualties on the human side. Mira's commanding officer appeared, debriefing her. The officer's words were muted, but the subtitles appeared. Outstanding work, Lieutenant. 37 confirmed neutralizations. Perfect execution. Recommend commendation. Mira on screen saluted, face expressionless. Mira in the training hall sighed deeply. Look, she said, addressing everyone. I'm sorry for the deception. Wasn't personal. I just wanted to study without the complication of everyone knowing I could break their joints in 12 different ways. Can we move past this? I've got an exam on Thulian cultural customs tomorrow, and I'm barely prepared. Dreknor laughed. Actually laughed. You kicked my ass in 20 seconds, and you're worried about an exam. Different skill sets. Mira smiled slightly. I'm much better at combat than academics. The fighting comes naturally. Remembering the proper greeting ritual for Thulian elders during moon festivals? That takes actual effort. Vexlar rubbed his scaled forehead. This human. This absolutely ridiculous human. She'd played them all, not out of malice, but because she genuinely wanted a normal education. And somehow, that made it worse. Fine, he announced. Kowalski, you passed the combat assessment. Obviously. Everyone else, training continues tomorrow. And if I hear anyone mentioning this outside these walls, you'll answer to me. Clear. Murmured agreements. The cadets dispersed slowly, still processing. Several cast backward glances at Mira, who'd returned to her datapad, completely absorbed in whatever diplomatic theory she was studying. Damraka paused beside her. For what it's worth, I respect what you did. Taking the mockery, keeping your head down. That takes strength too. Thanks. Mira glanced up. Also, your venom technique in match 3 was excellent. Perfect dosage for incapacitation without permanent damage. Very controlled. The compliment, coming from someone who'd just been revealed as a decorated war veteran, hit differently. The hall emptied. Vexlar watched Mira study. Humans. Impossible to predict, harder to understand. They looked soft, acted harmless, then casually revealed they'd been apex predators the whole time. And this one wanted to prevent wars instead of fight them. Maybe, he thought, that was the most frightening thing about humans. They knew exactly how dangerous they were, and chose peace anyway. Not from weakness, from wisdom. So what did you think? Did this story surprise you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this sci-fi story, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe for more mind-blowing science fiction stories every week. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.